It was the first ever international game played at the brand new stadium in Vadodara, and India have marked that with a win. Now, on the face of it, it is a reason to celebrate, but it wasn't quite the win that India would have wanted, because dominating that particular game for 3/4 of the way, in the final quarter, the Indian team stuttered. That's why they huffed and puffed their way to a win. It was a win by 4 wickets with 1 over to spare, but things became very close. But before I dive into the reason why there were a few warning signs for the Indian team, let's celebrate the landmark. Virat Kohli has become the fastest ever man in the history of the sport to reach 28,000 international runs, the fastest. In fact, there's double reason to celebrate, because now the 2 highest run getters in the history of international cricket, I'm talking about international runs combined of all formats, are a certain Sachin Tendulkar followed by a Virat Kohli. So that list now has 1 and 2 as the idol in Sachin Tendulkar and his protege in Virat Kohli, because oftentimes Virat has said that Sachin used to be his hero. So proud moment to have 2 Indian batters there. Virat, of course, the highest run getter for India in this game with 93. Very well could have gotten his record extending ODI ton. That wasn't to be, a soft dismissal for him. But let's go back to why India found themselves into trouble. And I think that dismissal of Virat Kohli was the turning point, because India, with about 11 overs to go, 66 balls to go, needed, if I'm not mistaken, 68, 69 runs. So run a ball was needed, 8 wickets in hand, and here we were thinking that the game will finish in 44th, 45th over. Easily India will cruise to a win. That wasn't the case. Virat gets out against the run of play. Kyle Jamieson takes his wicket, a soft dismissal at that, and from there on India have a collapse. And I'd have to say that if it wasn't for those 2 drop chances, one by Daryl Mitchell of a Harshit Rana and 2 of Ashok dropping Washington Sundar, who knows, the result could have been different. And it is a bit surprising that New Zealand, known for their fielding, and they were good for most parts of this game when it comes to the fielding, those 2 crucial moments, those 2 drop catches have ensured that India sneaked through to a win. Had those catches been taken, maybe the result could have been different. And I think the reason behind why India huffed and puffed their way, I think 2 strategic calls that they took. One of sending Ravindra Jadeja ahead of KL Rahul. I think that is baffling. Jadeja's returns with the bat in white ball haven't been great. He doesn't play T20s. In ODI cricket as well, hasn't been outstanding. If you take a look at the larger picture, he's still not guaranteed a spot in the ODI World Cup scheme of things, because as of now, they've been rotating between Akshar and Jadeja, series versus series. Of course, Akshar now concentrating on the T20 World Cup. At the moment, if you ask me, I think Akshar would be slightly ahead of Jadeja when it comes to the ODI format. I think red ball cricket, Jadeja clearly ahead of Akshar, but in white ball cricket, in T20, definitely he's there, because Jadeja is retired. In ODI, also I'd put Akshar ahead, because bowling I'll still put them at par. I think batting, Akshar the superior batter. So he may be the batter to go with. But I think this decision is a bit surprising. It's not even the left-hand, right-hand combination, because India's top 4 are all right-handers. So, it's not that you're trying to have left-hand, right-hand. So if that is the case, why not have a KL Rahul ahead of a Jadeja? I think that was a mistake that could have cost them. The second mistake of sending a Harshit Rana ahead of a Washington Sundar. I know Sundar was injured, but he had done his time. He was available to bat at the position when Harshit Rana came. And I know, maybe his ankle was hurting, but he would have been the better player at that time. It was a tactical decision, I'm sure, probably because they wanted Harshit to, tonk a few, up the net run rate, the run rate, I beg your pardon, and then, ensure that there is no panic towards the end. That would have been the idea behind sending Harshit, but I think that almost backfired. His catch was dropped, and if it wasn't for those 2 boundaries that he got towards the end, it could have been a situation that would have taken the game away from India. So I think even a slightly injured Washington Sundar would have been a better idea at that point, because Harshit was also failing to rotate the strike and give KL Rahul, the more experienced batter, the strike. So could have backfired. And if Washington was, anyway, if his injury was so bad, then he should have batted at 11. But the fact that he came out to bat towards the end, then maybe could have come out to bat a position higher, wouldn't have changed many things. But those 2 decisions could have backfired. In the end, India, as I said, lucky enough to escape with a win. But I think that also highlights one very important point. And it highlights the importance of a Virat Kohli for this Indian team. Because where did the game really turn and New Zealand got back into the game? It was the dismissal of Virat Kohli. Quite often we say this is the easy format. It looks easy because Virat Kohli makes it look easy. When he was there, you knew you were going to cruise. He gets out, there's a batting collapse. Underlines the importance of Virat Kohli and when he's on the crease. And it's really refreshing to see this new version of Virat. You can call it Virat 3.0, 4.0, whatever. And two things I've noticed that he's doing differently. One, he's starting off aggressively. Earlier, Virat Kohli templates used to be in ODI cricket. He would take his time, get those 30 runs, get his blood flowing, and then look for boundaries. Majority of the time, he would start off with those singles and doubles and ease into his game. This is a more aggressive Virat Kohli that we are seeing. We saw in the South Africa series, most number of sixes that he's hit in a series, 12 we saw. So he's not afraid to go the aerial route, and he's continuing with that. Here also in this game, started off in very aggressive fashion, and that's a new thing that we're seeing with Virat Kohli. And the second thing that I'm very glad to note, another positive, is the way he's tackling spinners. In white ball cricket in the recent past, spinners had been troubling him, whether they were off spinners or leg spinners. I think the way he handled the Kiwi spinners now, and in the series that we've seen so far, he's become, I think he's mentally, he's got a clarity there. I think he's reading the spinners from the hand just so much at ease. He knows exactly what the ball is going to do, and he's playing them with uber confidence, and that's another great thing to see about Virat Kohli. For New Zealand, I know they're not playing their top team. Majority of their players are playing SAT20, not focusing on ODI cricket. All eyes on T20 cricket. But I think in this ODI, there is a T20 point that they've made, and that is of Kyle Jamieson to all the IPL team. And I was baffled at the auction. Nobody was going for him because he's got quality. I know he was coming back of an injury, but you know he's got quality. He had shown some slight form even towards the auction, and which is why I was surprised. He was the last man to be bought in that auction. Didn't go through in the regular rounds. In the accelerated auction also, regular rounds was unsold, accelerated auction unsold. Second round of accelerated auction, the last man to be bought in the auction. Delhi got him at the base price of 2 CR. It's a steal at the moment. I think his skill level, you know, he can get that bounce, he can crank it up if he wants. Now with the variation, that one ball that he used to get Shreyas Iyer out, I think has everything to be a successful white ball bowler, as he had shown previously in the IPL as well when he played for RCB. So great buy there for Delhi. Kyle Jamieson picking up those 4 wickets. So that's the match report of the Vadodara ODI. We'll see you next in the second game. It's Wednesday, the next game. Sunday, then the third game. For the moment, from all of us here on Sports Today, thanks so much for watching. Give us a like if you're enjoying our content. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today.